Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told no risk. Why bet you wanna be famous, They hella they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, Just for the haters, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch.
Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back and then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the bip. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
A good run by Jordan Howard. And now another 1st and 10. And they're running the jet sweep. This is Jeffrey. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Nothing.
Check pass, check pass.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
And an alley to run. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and now not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll run on first down. It's Phillips. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And a give this time to the tailback. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Flushed out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Let's make these babies crawl.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Wentz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington, and the 49ers are out to the early lead. Josh Reynolds, he's got a first-quarter touchdown grab there. This is Breida. And some room to roam now. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 36 yards on the play.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. That'll go down as a loss of 8, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's a major league loss of yardage and probably loss of momentum. You're snapping the ball at the 1-yard line before you suffer that big loss.
Yeah, you think of losing any yardage from the 1 is bad. To go that far back, that's a disaster.
And I think the play calling sequence that maybe the OC had in his head, that's got to change on the fly now.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running with Howard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz for the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is fielded at the 7. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Bridgewater. Got a man. It's Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Bridgewater. Wide open receiver complete. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. A gain of 3, second down. On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater. As the first half is winding down, and the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wentz now to throw. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On first down, here's Breida. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Well, the second down throw on target. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Bridgewater. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And what can they do here on second and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Bridgewater firing quickly, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Again, it's Howard. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This is Howard on second down. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, What do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They run with Breida. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Breida. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, at these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, it's Pollard. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. 4 down, check.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside there to make the grab. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the strike.
Point after, right down the middle. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Breida. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
This will be caught by Brown. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Matt Breida becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Deshaun Watson with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now Wentz. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a second down. Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wentz to throw again. Got a man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. It's brought in by Jeffrey. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. On 1st down, Wentz. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. To try again after the sack. Wentz, and that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. To throw is Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. One final try now for Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game,